Hi, welcome back. Let's talk about books. I am so excited to be here. I did just start school again, and so I am sleep deprived and feeling it already. Only 2 days into the semester, and we're ready for the summer. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm here for a wrap up, my favorite time of the month. Before we get into what I read, I want to know what you read. Like, was there any five-star reads that you had? Did you find an all time favorite already? What's going on with your reading? I'm just curious if you're going to be learning about my books from January. I want to learn about yours. But let's go ahead and get on into it. So, I did end up reading 8 books in January. I'm only going to be talking about 5 of them today. This month was not a great month for reading. Okay. Of the 8 books that I read, one of them was a 5-star read, and then the rest of them were like 2 and 3 stars. So, not great. But yeah, we're going to start out with probably the worst book that I read this month. I'm going to be doing a whole video on it that will take a while to record, but when I get it, you'll see it. You'll be the first to know, okay? I'm going to put books right here. Again, it's so much more convenient than holding up the book itself. So, yeah. But so that first book is going to be A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. I gave this book 2 stars, and honestly, that's being generous. It's really convenient for Megan Quinn that I only give 1-star reviews to books that genuinely make me hate my life. And that was not this book. Lucky for her. So much about this book was not good. So it's a romance book, and it's not supposed to be new adult, but it reads like new adult. Basically, it follows Lottie and Huxley Kane. And basically, Lottie has been fired from her job, and she is about to be, she had told her parents she was moving out of her house. And so now she's out of a job, doesn't have money to get an apartment. And so she goes prowling for a wealthy husband in LA. And then Huxley Kane, lied to a business partner and told him that he had a pregnant fiance to try and secure a business deal. And they end up bumping into each other while Lottie is out hunting. And they decide that they can help each other. And so they do. The problem with this book is that Lottie is supposed to be 28 years old and have an MBA. An MBA, is that what it's called? Masters of Business Administration. Yeah. And she has an MBA. And on top of that, she has 1 year of experience working in a startup that she almost single handedly raised from the ground up. And so the fact that she thinks her only option is to prowl the streets of LA for a wealthy husband, absolutely mind blowing. Like, you are not 28 years old. It's that simple. You're not. And then the fact that Huxley's supposed to be in his 30s, I don't remember his exact age, but he's in his 30s, and he thinks it's acceptable to lie to a business partner to try and get a business deal in and of itself is ridiculous. But then the fact that that lie is that he has a pregnant fiance, like, excuse me? How about we don't do that? It was just so wildly unbelievable, and all of the characters are very like childish throughout the entire book, and it's very hard to believe that they are the age that they say they are. Never mind the fact that even if Lottie wasn't 28 with an MBA and completely fucking brain dead, she's such a pushover in this entire book. It is just not pleasant to read. But this book was not good, and so I gave it 2 stars. Moving right along, the next book that I read was Everyone is Beautiful by Catherine Center. And this book was also a 2-star read. It was not good. So this book follows a main character. I don't know her name. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember. It wasn't memorable. But she moves to Cambridge, Massachusetts with her husband because he was accepted into a doctorate program if not graduate program for for his like musical career, because he's a piano player. And they moved to Massachusetts with 2 kids, and she is a stay-at-home mom. She gave up her career to be a stay-at-home mom because financially it was the better option for them. And the book starts with them just moving to Massachusetts, and they are going to be living solely off of the stipend that is given to their family by the husband's school. I think he goes to Harvard. I don't remember what school he goes to, but I'm pretty sure it's Harvard. But anyways, so yes, basically the female lead takes up 2 different hobbies. She takes up going to the gym, working out, I guess, at the beginning of the book, because in the opening scene, another mother assumes that she is pregnant again and asks when she's due, and she's not pregnant. She's just, a mom of 2 who has a baby that's like 8 months old, so she hasn't lost all of her baby weight. And her other hobby is photography. And basically this book follows her and her husband's relationship, and the honestly terrible support that he gives her in her day-to-day life, and the expectation that he has for her to give him support all of the time, always, and just not have any personal feelings or emotions herself. It's mind-boggling how terrible this book is, for the sole fact that it depicts her as like not being able to have her own individuality because she is a mom, and a stay-at-home mom at that. And she must like always make accommodations for him because of that. And it's just honestly kind of sickening. It's kind of sickening. I was like, when was this book published? It's not good. It's not good. It was really disappointing because I love Catherine Seno's books, and it just was not for me. The next book that I read is The Cursed by Harper L. Woods. This is the sequel to The Coast that I read way back in the day, in one of my first videos that is terrible, and I would recommend going and looking at it. But this book is the sequel to that, and it essentially continues the love story between Gray and Willow from the first book, but it gets very unhinged is the best way I can put it. So the coven is about Willow, who is a witch, and she joins the official coven of witches, or the school for the official coven of witches, to learn more about her magic, but she goes with an alternate agenda of killing Gray, who is the love interest. So it's about witches and demons and deals with the devil and that sort of thing, which is already very like Supernatural-esque if you've ever watched Supernatural. And then this book just took it a step further with Supernatural, kind of how towards the end of Supernatural it got a little unhinged and unusual, and it was already a very interesting show. I loved Supernatural, at least the first like 11 seasons. I stopped watching it after that. But the second book, also a lot of smut, but then it also goes off the rails like Supernatural did at the end, and starts bringing like God and angels into them. It's just very bizarre. I mean, the first one was witchy smut, and the second one is devil smut, I guess, which is not everybody's cup of tea. It was fine. I gave it 3 stars, so like it could have been worse, but it's definitely like there are better books out there. That's what I'm going to go with. The 4th book that I read is My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. And this book is about a serial killing couple who met, got married, had 2 kids, they're living life. And then they got bored and they started killing people and basically not getting caught. So they're serial killers. They don't kill often, but this book follows the life of this couple after their 3rd victim's body is found. And it follows them picking another victim and then living life, then the body being discovered and what goes on with that, and like them essentially trying to evade getting caught for all of these murders that have happened. And it is fantastic. It's a thriller. I haven't read many thrillers, and I understand that you're not supposed to be like rooting for people to get away with things, but the book is told solely from the husband's perspective. And the entire time, every time he made a decision, like he would Google something and I would be like, why are you doing that? You're going to get caught. I was so anxious reading this book. Towards the end, I was messaging my coworkers in a group chat and I was like, oh my God, I can't finish this book. I only have like 40 pages left, but like he keeps making stupid mistakes and I'm like, he's gonna get busted for this and it's not gonna be cool because like I don't want him to get caught. I don't know why I didn't want him to get caught because I mean he's a murderer, I do. But I was just so anxious that he was going to get caught and it gave like, oh my God, it was terrible. And I don't think thrillers are for me solely because I should not be having such a visceral reaction to the books that I'm reading. Like, it's one thing to get giddy about a romance, laugh out loud when something's funny. It's another thing to feel like I'm going to get caught for a murder that I didn't commit. But I was over here stressing out that the cops were going to knock on my door and arrest me for the murders in this book. And that's not a good move, okay? That being said, this book did get 3 stars. It's weird because I gave this 3 stars and I gave The Cursed 3 stars, but like they're not the same. Think of my 3-star ratings as like having a spectrum as everything in life does. And on the bad end is like The Cursed, like low 3-star, maybe 2.5 rounded up. And on the top end is like, I don't know, something good that I've given 3 stars. And this book, My Lovely Wife, is probably 2/3 of the way. So like almost good. I wouldn't give it 3.5 stars. I wouldn't say that it's like it was good, but it just could have been better, I guess. The final book that I'm going to be talking about today that I read is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. And this book was fantastic. Oh my gosh. I gave this book 5 stars. I wish I could read it all over again. I was shocked. I was holding my breath. I was excited. This book, if you do not know, is a Knights of the Round Table legend retelling in modern day. And so it basically follows this girl named Bree who is in an early college program. So she's a high school student, which is actually a little weird because there is a romance in this book and it is a romance with one of the people actually in the college. And I did throughout the book, like if like there was like a kiss or something, I was like, she is 16, this is gross. But it wasn't the worst thing. I think he's 18. It's not like a terrible age gap. It's not anything like taboo, and the romance is not the focus of the book. There's nothing more than like a kiss at the door type of thing going on. So it's okay, but if that's something you're not a fan of, there's your warning about that. Anyways, so she's in an early college program on a campus in, I don't know, North Carolina, South Carolina, one of the Carolinas. And she is taking college classes, and one of the stipulations of this like early college program she's in is that she has to join an on-campus club thing. And so normally you join something simple like chess club, debate, whatever. But she ends up stumbling upon a secret society called, I think it's called the Legendborn Society. I don't really remember. But this society consists of people that have the potential to be awoken as one of the Knights of the Round Table. And she stumbles upon them in a battle and sees the magic. And upon seeing this magic, discovers that she too has a magical ability inside of herself that she's never like used before. Upon discovering her own power, realizes that this secret society is somehow connected to her mother's death. And so she needs to figure out what's going on with her power, evading detection by this group, but also wants to find out how they're connected to her mother's potential murder. She's not sure if her mom was murdered or not. It could have just been an accident. So she's trying to get to the bottom of that. And so she infiltrates the group while trying to figure out what's going on with her. And it is such a fantastic book. When I tell you I ran to Barnes & Noble after I finished this book to buy the second book, it was literally, I finished it in 2 days. And I read it all day Sunday, finished it, left my house, went to Barnes & Noble and bought the next book. Like, it was no joke. I needed to consume it. That being said, I have not started the second book. Dylan, with his infinite wisdom, has told me that maybe I should pace myself. It is projected to be a trilogy, and 2 of the books are out. The next one does not come out till 2025. So he was like, maybe you should wait if you like it so much, maybe you should take some time between the first and the second book. Because if not, you're going to finish the second book and be like, well, I want to read the next one. And you won't have it for over a year. So just a thought. I don't know how long I'm going to take his advice because he doesn't read, he doesn't know, whatever. Anyways, those are 5 of the 8 books that I read. And the other 3 I'm not going to be discussing for the publishing boycott reasons. And we're just going to leave it at that. They weren't anything good anyways. But thank you so much for watching. You should let me know. Give this a like. Let me know if you liked any of these books, if you've read any of these books, or if you plan to pick up any of them. Subscribe, please. That would be amazing. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.